Maps
Oh,
and find any city and use the street view to see how the city looks like.
oh, I know. It's so wonderful. I like to do that too. Yeah, you are a nerd like me.
So I was in Guatemala.
Wondering how is it really ugly like people think?
No, actually, it looks really nice.
It looks nice, exactly.
Yeah.
It's only the imagination, the collective imagination of our people.
Yes.
Very, very good, brother. Well, let's study some English, okay? I'm going to teach you some things that are going to help you for your listening, but it's not going to be now the the strategy that we were talking about. We are going to change it a little bit. I'm
Okay.
going to show you guess phrases, but idiomatic phrases.
Okay.
They are not, well, they can be considered part of the phrases that we talked about, but there is something about the meaning of them that makes American people use them a lot instead of other words, instead of the meaning. Okay?
Okay.
About this word, the first one, when it comes to.
When it comes to, okay, I have here, I think that I have read it in books or maybe watching television, but I don't know the meaning.
Oh, but if you have heard it, do you understand it? Do you know what they mean when they use it?
No.
Interesting. Okay, let's go through the expressions. Let's look for it. And let's see what they say.
Okay.
Under Prime Minister May, the UK has reaffirmed when it comes to pursue our trade and investment ties. Here at the G20, we will continue to pursue an agenda of inclusive and sustainable growth. When it comes to security issues, under Prime Minister May, the UK has reaffirmed its strong commitment to the transatlantic security architecture. We are NATO allies. We see the world in the same way.
Okay. This is an introductory phrase that he used to talk about, to change the topic. And he said,
Okay.
when it is about a different thing, when it is about, or when we talk about security issues, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Mhm. When we talk about.
We should be doing when it comes to helping Honduras and Guatemala build a effective criminal justice system, effective police, and economic development that creates jobs.
You see?
Okay. Yes. Yes, I think that I get it.
Mhm. When it comes to teaching listening, we should take into consideration phonemes and linguistic aberrations, contractions, and pronunciation of American people.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm. That's the way it's done. This is important to know because we will expect that people will use our words in the listening, and that's what affects our comprehension.
Yes, actually, because if you are, well, I think that I usually get lost when I don't understand a word because
Exactly.
I try to understand that part and then I don't pay attention to the rest of the audio.
Yeah. So better we standardize this group of words in our mind. So whenever you listen the expression completely, you can understand the expression completely instead of words by words. Don't separate it by words,
Oh,
like together.
yeah. Yes, because if we separate it, I think that it doesn't make sense.
Totally. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm. Those are the cookies that we talked about at the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. Give me an example using when it comes to.
Maybe we could say could it be when we talk about no when it comes when it comes to when it comes to how to say when it comes to security issues, the government hasn't taken any important measure,
Okay. Hasn't taken. Check your structure.
hasn't taken
Exactly. Okay.
any important measure.
Excellent. I like your example. The government hasn't taken any measure,
Yeah.
effective measure. I like it. Very good. Okay, let's go with the next one.
The trouble with intelligence is that it's practiced by analysts who work from what can be seen. This, a general once said. Perhaps we should include a few novelists who see what has not been seen.
Okay,
Could you repeat, please?
sure.
The trouble with intelligence is that it's practiced by analysts who work from what can be seen. This, a general once said. Perhaps we should include a few novelists who see what has not been seen.
Okay. I think that it's something. Um, well, I think that it has a close meaning to trouble, no? Because it's referring to something maybe difficult.
Right. Okay. And what
Trouble,
can make this expression confusing to the Spanish speaker?
trouble with intelligence. Hmm. Let me think the problem. Trouble with intelligence that is the trouble with intelligence is that is no, I'm not sure. Maybe could it be the same that if you want to say like the problem with something?
Correct. Exactly. Yes. We can expect the person to say the problem with or the problem of.
Mhm.
The first expression, the problem with, exists, but that doesn't mean that we cannot use the word trouble.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I think the trouble with yes, I have heard it at work. I think when they are like discussing something, the trouble with, for example, with this report is that we need more time or is time consuming or something similar.
Correct. And
Yeah,
people use the word trouble instead of problem,
yeah.
right? That's why this word is so effective. Okay, so learning grouped words. The next one.
Take for granted.
Do you know this expression?
No, that one no.
Let's
I
check it.
haven't. Yes.
Be defeated again until Afghanistan in 1979, but the Red Army is defeated by Poland in 1920. And so the response to Polish defeat is to create this thing that we take for granted, which is the Soviet Union.
Which, sorry, the kitten hit his plate of water.
Oh no,
He made a yeah.
he made a
Okay.
mess.
That we take for granted, which is no. Could you go back a few seconds?
Sure.
I
I
need
think
the
the information you need is
The
after,
response
right?
But the
But okay, let's play it from a few seconds earlier, and then let's hear the seconds later.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
they're not going to be defeated again until Afghanistan in 1979. But the Red Army is defeated by Poland in 1920.
Context: do you know what is the Red Army?
Red Army? No. No.
That's important. The Red Army is
Isn't an army is from? It sounds like by the context. No, I don't know. It sounds like from Russia.
correct, but before it was Russia.
Sorry.
Before it became Russia, it was the USSR.
Oh yes.
Socialist.
Oh
The
yes.
Socialist Society of Russia, something like that.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so
Yes. Yes.
The Bolsheviks are making this up as they go along. They're making this up as they go along. Their response to the defeat, and they were defeated. The Poles defeated them. It's the first, they're not going to be defeated again until Afghanistan in 1979. But the Red Army is defeated by Poland in 1920. And so their response to Polish defeat is to create this thing that we take for granted, which is the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union is the state which contains the revolution. So it's not supposed to be a normal state. It's not a nation state. From the Bolshevik point of view, it's certainly not an empire. It's something completely new. It's a kind of container for revolution, a revolution which at some later date will get spread throughout the world.
Okay. That's not. It's not something simple. Well, it's not the issue as the other ones.
Okay, let's go through the dictionary.
Okay.
Take for granted. Grant. To grant something is to, in this definition. Okay, let's use this one. Idiomatic expression.
Yes, take somebody something for granted. To be used to
Your pronunciation.
Yeah.
The letter O sounds A.
somebody, take
Bad.
somebody something for granted. Okay, to be so used to somebody something that you do not recognize their true value anymore and do not show that you are grateful. Okay.
Sorry.
Yes. To be so used to, okay, that part I understood, so that you don't recognize their true value, do not show that you are grateful. Her husband always there, and she just took him for granted.
Why did she take her husband for granted?
Sorry?
Why did she take her husband for granted?
Because she assumed that he would be always there.
Exactly.
I think that I'm understanding, but actually I'm not sure. We take having an endless supply for clean water.
It doesn't say for. One more time.
Yes, we take having an endless supply of clean water for granted. Okay. But here is yeah, okay. Because the first one, I think it's easier because we only have him, like the noun, no? Like
Correct.
but in the next one, the noun is having an endless supply of clean water.
You are understanding my student. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes. I think that I think that it's when I think that the first example was more was how to say more simple. Is it
Okay.
more simple?
More simple, right?
Because well, actually, the second one. Now that I read it again. It makes more sense. But it's something that uh, you don't wonder if it you continue like it is because you assume that it will be there, no? That it will,
Right,
okay.
exactly. And you assume that it will be there. You assume that you forget the true value of something because it's always there.
Yes.
And it usually has the meaning of be careful, like it's not going to happen. It's not going to be there all the time.
Okay, okay.
Some of the questions that happen in the exam are like, what does the person mean with this? So paraphrasing is like, well, her husband was forgotten by her, or she didn't care for her husband. That's the
Okay.
paraphrase of she took him for granted,
Yes. Okay,
right?
yes, I get it. Oh,
There you
let me take notes.
sure. That's for your glossary, the glossary that we talked yesterday.
Yes. Let me look for a pen because they can look all of them. Could you go back to a list
Go back to the list. Which list?
and in the slides
Oh, this one.
there was an assignment, no, with the words. Oh, yes. Mm, mm, and take and okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good.
Right.
So the first one that you're going to use, or that was new for you, was to take for granted.
Yes.
Did you take a note on the definition of this one?
Yes, actually.
Good.
But I think that it could be better if you said that you forget the value, no? That instead of recognizing the true value. Well, it could be.
Yeah, the definition is pretty clear. It's the one
Yeah.
that I'm looking for. Okay. Mm, okay. The next one. Oh, we can listen to the example again.
Yes.
We defeated again until Afghanistan in 1979, but the Red Army is defeated by Poland in 1920. And so the response to Polish defeat is to create this thing that we take for granted, which is the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union is the state which contains the revolution.
Okay.
I think he's saying that we never consider the Soviet Union as an important part of the World War II,
Okay.
right? Because we always talk about Hitler and Poland, but we never talk about the Soviet Union when
Mhm.
they play an important role.
Yes, actually.
Mhm.
Yes, isn't there? Well, it was something really important, actually.
Imagine. Mhm.
Yeah.
And the
Okay.
video is about Ukraine, so probably
About the war.
the war. Mhm.
Okay.
So
Mm,
that's why he's giving a little bit of context and everything.
yes.
All right. That's the one. Take something or someone for granted. The next one.
Take part. Okay.
Have to be born on the top rung of the ladder to even take part in that race. The third thing, and this is what we have to be, as Alan Kruger and Miles Korak call the Great Gatsby curve. As income inequality increases, social mobility decreases. The plutocracy may be a meritocracy, but increasingly you have to be born on the top rung of the ladder to even take part in that race.
Did you understand this?
Yes, take part of that race. Well, I'm not sure. Is she talking about something like social, maybe social? How could I say that? Because well, she mentioned something about like a position in the social, how say, like this scale, like this determine.
This social class.
Oh yes, exactly.
Classes. You can use the word class. Mhm.
So I understand that to take part is like to be involved in something, no?
You need to
Take part.
no to take
Participate.
part. You need to, according to the what she said.
I don't remember the last part.
Oh, okay. Well, you understood take part.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. It's to participate. To take part is to participate. I think that is a phrasal verb. Take part in something. It's in the no, it's in the idiomatic expression section. Let me see. Idiomatic expression. Of course, because part is not a preposition. Yeah,
Okay.
but here it is. It's a synonym.
Participate. Yes. And I think that is it was easy.
Good. Perfect. Okay. This is the next one. This one.
Seriously.
And anti-poverty programs have got to take seriously the prison and the universe of people affected by it if they are serious about improving well-being.
There it is.
And anti-poverty programs have got to take seriously.
Actually, we can include this one too.
Include what?
Have got to.
And anti-poverty programs have to take seriously.
It
I
doesn't
think that
have to. Watch out, watch out, watch out.
have got to
Mhm.
anti programs have got to take seriously. So it's like considering, like considering something.
To consider something formally. To really, really consider something.
Okay. And what about have got to?
That's another way to emphasize have to.
Have
Because
got
if
to?
you notice, this guy was giving a very intense pronunciation to the word got.
Yeah.
That's because he's being emphatic. It's different to say I have to work than if you say I have got to work. You know, that's because you consider that this thing is very, very important.
Okay, let me take on that.
Sure. Can Silvana speak or she's on her way?
No, she's on her way, and actually, I think that it will take a few more minutes because it's raining since 2 hours ago.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm not sure if she will be able to participate, to take part of this class.
Oh, okay. No problem. That's cool. That's cool.
Okay, ready.
There we go. Next. I've got to, let's check if we have got to. Mhm. When we write have to, we have this as a parenthesis.
Okay, have to use to show that you must. Yeah, I think that the important part is must do something. No?
Exactly. But don't forget that it's also have got. I think what we forget is, well, we forget it because we usually say have to, have to, have to, have to. And
Mhm.
a person says, gotta go. We,
Oh, yes, I have.
no,
Yes.
really the word gotta go. The person is saying have to, but with different words.
Okay, yes. Okay.
All right. The next one. Okay.
Is a tool to drive improvement.
I hate that guy.
Flick, we've made it really nice. Flick, we've made there was an option through to the end user of electricity. So actually people didn't know that there was an opportunity to use electricity at times when it was cheaper. So at Flick, we've made it really nice and easy for our customers to make the most of low prices. Well, you can use
Make the most of low the prices.
No, not lower the prices. No, I can.
Flick, we've made it really nice and easy for our customers to make the most of low prices.
Low prices.
To make
Mm,
low prices.
really nice and easy for our customers to make the most of low prices. Really nice. Could you go back for a few seconds?
Sure. Yes, yes, yes. Like go back?
Yes.
Okay.
Flat prices. Right. And some of them charge more in periods of high demand, like over winter. And they change those price signals so that they can manage total demand on their network. The thing is that before Flick came along, none of the retailers were passing those price signals through to the end user of electricity. So actually people didn't know that there was an opportunity to use electricity at times when it was cheaper. So at Flick, we've made it really nice and easy for our customers to make the most of low prices.
Okay. I think that she's talking about like taking advantage of something.
Taking an advantage of something, exactly. How did you get to that conclusion?
Because she mentioned the price of the hardware. Did he mention like the electricity? I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Correct.
So he talked like in a period of time when the price. I didn't remember like it didn't change or something like that. Like and then it can be something good for the customers. No.
Kinda. Yeah. Because
I don't remember.
what was the
Really.
benefit? Did you catch it?
No, I don't remember.
Well, we are talking about prices
Yeah, maybe to save money.
to save money.
Yeah.
So the advantage that you are talking about, or taking advantage of something, they are actually taking advantage of low prices.
Okay.
You see,
Maybe
that's why.
the most. Okay.
To make the most of, let's see another example.
Yes.
What are you doing to make the most of the time that you have? And
Okay.
What are you doing?
Uh, yes, it's kind of what to take advantage the most of your time you have.
And that's what calendar blocking has the ability.
So yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
yes.
That's correct.
These predators make the most of their prey.
What is prey?
If they are talking about predators,
Oh yes, it's the other
prey,
animals that they hunt.
exactly, the animals that are hunted by
Okay,
them.
these predators make the most of their prey, so I imagine that they don't waste any part of the other animal, no?
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Good. Okay. Next.
I have used that.
Do you use that one?
No, well, yes, sometimes in my in my emails, or when we are talking by phone, and we said, oh, we will keep in touch, so we will be like in constant communication.
Excellent, in constant communication to continue the communication with the person. That's right. To keep in touch. We have seen that one.
Hear and understand the people we're designing for. We use our products in non-English languages to make sure that they work just as well. And we try to use one of these phones from time to time to keep in touch with their reality. So
To have contact.
Yes. Yes, I learned it when maybe at work, because we use it when we are. I think that it's basically when we are talking by phone and we are like ending the meeting, and we say we will keep in touch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That. Now, be careful with your pronunciation. How do you pronounce this?
Touch. What is touch?
Touch.
Touch. Okay.
Not to. Ta. Open.
Touch.
That's it.
Okay.
Touch. You don't keep in touch, you know?
Okay, yeah. Touch. Oh, okay.
Excellent. Good. Next. Let's go to the expression.
Of course, it goes without saying that oil and gas companies understand this pretty well, which is why we've seen them invest millions of dollars in recent years in promoting solar and wind.
Could you repeat, please?
Sure.
Of course, it goes without saying that oil and gas companies understand this pretty well, which is why we've seen them invest millions of dollars in recent years in promoting solar and wind.
Okay, I think that is like when you are talking about something and you mention maybe something like important, but you didn't mention other important things, but because they were not necessary.
Right, because they were implicit.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So we refer to things that are implicit. You say, well, it goes without saying.
Let me think of this.
Super useful.
It goes without.
Here. Look at this.
Reviews. Is it? Okay, yes, no, sorry, Silvana is already here, but she's fighting against the kid.
She's fighting against the kitty?
Yes.
As always.
Okay, I got it.
Good. Let's go again. Another example.
Yeah.
It goes without saying that we have now been living in a saturated media culture for some time now, from that moment that was so, I think, well captured in the movie Anchorman 2, when Ron Burgundy, played by Will Ferrell, is being recruited during the 1980s by an executive for a new 24-hour news channel, GNN, and blurts out, "That is without doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard."
That's one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
The Anchorman. Will Ferrell is so funny. Yeah, that's right. It goes without saying.
It goes without saying that it's really difficult for me to be here today.
Okay, yes. Maybe because how to say, like, when you go through something difficult, no? But there is a way to say, like, you
You
go,
want the expression.
yes,
When you go through something difficult.
there's a phrase or word. No?
I don't know.
Okay, but well, I think that she wants to, well, she's making emphasis on that, no? That
Yes.
even she went through something difficult, she's there, like, giving the speech or something.
Right. And you have the title of the.
I haven't read.
Look at this.
Oh yes, no. Okay.
So that can tell you a lot about what she's going to talk about.
Yes.
It goes without saying. Right?
Yes.
And so even if the change is good for them in the long run, it's still incredibly frustrating when it happens.
Let's try to go back a little bit so we can get
that of change as I do the change itself. And I'm sure that we can all relate to that when something that we use a lot changes and then we have to adjust. The fact is, people can become very efficient at using bad design. And so even if the change is good for them in the long run, it's still incredibly frustrating when it happens. And this is particularly true with user-generated content platforms, because people can rightfully claim a sense of ownership.
Wow, that's so true.
Yes, maybe because you get used to the things, and when there is any change, it is a little difficult to adapt, no?
Even when the design was bad, and you knew that it was bad, no, but we learned to use it.
Yes, actually, I think that it's something that happened a lot in some companies. For example, in the place where I work, because there are a lot of improvements, and even those improvements make our life easier, and we refuse to use them because we got used to the old platforms, the old programs.
So when they change it, everybody is chaotically running around looking for answers.
Yes. Yes. So I think that I got this message. So I think that in the long run means that something. Is it something similar to say that in the long term?
Exactly, but people never use the long term. They never use expression in the long term.
Is it correct or no? It doesn't exist.
We never use it. It doesn't mean that it's not correct. You can say it, but you will sound strange.
Okay.
And in the audios, they will never use the expression long term. They will use long term as an adjective, such as the long-term job or a long-term goal. But to express something that happens with a long time, with a lot of expectation into a long time in the future, we
Mhm.
never use long term.
Okay, okay. That's interesting. I have never seen this phrase.
This
Well,
combination.
maybe because but I hadn't
Simulated it,
paid attention
observed it. There we go.
in the long
Very
run.
important for B2.
Okay, relating to a long period in the future. 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 Future.
Choo choo choo. Choo choo. Future.
Okay.
Future.
Okay, this mission inevitable, inevitable, inevitable
Inevitable.
means inevitable means higher taxes in the long run. Okay. Yes.
There you have it.
Okay. Yes. Actually, they are really useful.
It's pretty good, right? Good. The next one.
You'll find 1 is by far the most common leading digit. 30% of all numbers start with 1.
Okay. By far means like something that has like an important difference between this amount or this yes, this amount and the
Two
and the
amounts.
previous one.
Yes. Good job, man. You're doing a great job giving and paraphrasing these expressions. That's a very good way.
By a great amount. Yes, it's something similar. The last of this reason is by far the most important.
Okay.
Yep.
Now that you understand them, your challenge is to use them.
Okay, sure.
That's a challenge. Okay. The next one. Let's see another example.
And my favorite one by far was High Ground. It's an Australian film. Insert clip here.
By far, it was her favorite one.
Okay, yes.
Okay. This one. We have seen this in chunks. We actually saw this one in previous lists, but let's see if you understand, if you remember. Without checking the example, did you recognize this one?
Sure. I think that is like like aside from, I think like in addition to or something similar.
In addition to can similar, but not really. There's a little difference. Yeah. Let's try again. Let's watch it.
Like belong something?
Belong something. Very good. Very good. Belong something. Belong or below?
Belong.
No, belong is that Georgia's.
Sorry, you're get closer to the mic.
Below, because below is something like next to you or near to you.
Below is the opposite of over.
Okay.
Over and under, over and below. So no, that's different. Let's listen to the example.
Insect trap or of soil, a vial of water, some feces, an insect trap, or even the blood from leeches' stomachs. Researchers then sift out everything aside from DNA by blending the sample up and using enzymes that break down cellular proteins and release DNA.
No, could you repeat, please? I didn't understand.
Let's go with a topic that is more easier.
Okay, yes.
The video quality from both cameras is identical, aside from active HDR mode, which again is only available with a 4K boost lens. The video quality from both cameras is identical, aside from active HDR mode.
Did you catch it?
No.
No? So they are comparing two cameras, right?
I have to say what the video says, or what is the meaning of aside? No.
What's the meaning of the expression? What's the meaning of the expression in this case? Here, the guy is reviewing one camera and another one.
Could you please show the phrase with the from
Footage, and I can't pick them apart, can you? I think I can pretty confidently say that the video quality from both cameras is identical, aside from...
That's the idea.
Not teacher.
No,
couldn't.
really.
No.
That's because we don't know what is active HDR mode, right?
I think that is like it's what Silvana knows.
Okay, Silvana.
It's a mode of the camera. Well, I don't know. Yeah, that you can activate.
Okay,
No,
okay. Something
but
in
the
camera that you can activate.
HDR is something like when you make more.
Yeah, I think that yes, it's like an option in cameras that provide more saturation, and I don't remember it. It makes like an effect on the picture or video, no?
Yes, as a consequence, but you have an idea. It's something in the camera. Let's leave it over there.
Yes.
The reason we have the word aside from is not the HDR mode, is the fact that they are identical. The question is, according to this sentence, are the shots identical in this case?
Oh no! So it means that it's almost identical, but
exactly
there's
almost
something
identical,
different.
but that's right. Instead of saying almost identical, but there is the HDR mode, blah blah blah, it's better to use the connectors aside from.
Okay.
Except. And it's look at this. Consider a preposition. Except for.
So you are excluding that part, and then?
Look at this example.
Aside from a few scratches, I'm okay. Okay.
What is a scratch?
Like when your cat attack you.
Exactly. So let's imagine you describe an accident with a cat, right?
Okay, yeah.
You say, hey, something happened. I don't know. I dropped my phone on the soup, right? And the soup was very hot. I could have died at that moment, but aside from a few scratches, I'm okay.
Okay, yes. No, it was difficult with the videos. I couldn't like.
Gotcha.
Yes.
It's kind of difficult. But it's not impossible. Another example with aside from. Let's hear.
The point of using archetypal stories, aside from being a fun way to reference Disney movies, is that they connect with people on a deep level.
Well, yes.
Archetypal stories.
It makes sense, no?
Because I know the meaning.
Because now you know the meaning. That's why it's so helpful. Imagine You are listening into the listening section in the exam, and you hear these expressions. Sometimes it can really unbalance you to say, "Oh my God, what the person said,"
Yes, yes, and you get lost in that moment,
and you get lost.
yes, that's a problem.
That's why it's so useful. Good, good, good. The last one.
Was actively using psychedelic drugs, as a matter of fact, like many Berkeley students were. And I remember having a dispute with one of my sociology professors who was arguing for this traditional definition. And I said, do you think that these social institutions really affect who you are at a deep level when you're having a psychedelic experience? And
that's so interesting.
Criminal, remember, and I have to say this, I studied sociology during my days as a criminology student at Berkeley, and those were days in which I was actively using psychedelic drugs, as a matter of fact, like many Berkeley students were. And I remember
As a matter of fact. What do you get here?
Like it is like an expression, like when we say I don't know, like the truth is no.
The truth is.
Yes, something like that.
Possibly. I'm gonna give you a definition or a synonym. Actually.
Okay. Yeah.
This is another way to say actually. In fact.
Teacher, no. No, nothing.
Tell me, come on.
I was going to make a joke, but I couldn't not laugh. Just thinking. Because I was going to say, but not actually is actualmente.
Yes, correct. I was going to no, I was going to jump my window, hoping that I really die in that
It's
moment.
because a lot of people use it like that.
Yeah, because they are B1. They are B1 and they need to learn English. They need to learn a little bit more. Imagine how many people at the beginning. There are so many people who confuse record or record and remember. Because how do you
really?
say? How do you say remember in Spanish?
What did you
remember in Spanish?
Recuerda.
Recordar. So some people say record. I record this. And I'm like, no, you didn't record. You remembered.
Or like when you use because and why.
Exactly. Yeah, using why instead of because. Yeah, because you're thinking in Spanish. I have some in the past there was a student who mixed last versus ultimate. So he said things like the ultimate week I have been working. Yes. And I was like, no man, the last
you are going to be A1.
Go back. Exactly, man. It's last.
I remember that once I saw a meme that the usual Peter Parker when she say don't say why Mary Jane. Well, but it says something like Peter, I'm going to get married, and she say because. Yeah,
no,
with
the exclamation point, exactly.
Yeah.
Because no.
The interrogation. Yeah, but I can laugh at that because once And in my other course, something like that, I said, may I borrow the blackboard, how do you say it?
Oh, the board.
The board, yeah.
May I
I
borrow
don't know
the
why.
board?
May I borrow the board? Yeah, instead of erase.
You see?
Everyone was laughing at me.
Of course, of course. Are you taking it to your house or what? Like, well, you cannot borrow it. You need to keep it in the school. It's property.
Yeah.
So yeah. Welcome to true stories about confusion thinking in Spanish. Oh yes, and I receive them every day, every single day. Yes, Jesus Christ. That has helped me become a good teacher to not laugh, just correct.
It's something difficult now because
Yeah, dude, imagine the self-control to do a poker face and then do the explanation like, wait, you don't record, you don't remember.
I couldn't.
Dude, it has been years of practice.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe you should turn off the camera.
Yeah, dude. Imagine my first years was face to face.
Oh yeah.
And there was a moment one day I couldn't control myself because the combination of words was really funny. Was really, really funny. So I started laughing. And the student started laughing too because he was nervous, but not because he was insulted. And at the end, I translated for the expression for him. It's like, I'm sorry for the laugh, but you said this.
Okay.
And everybody was laughing after that, fortunately.
Something good, but I think maybe it could be like
it's tricky.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very
and it's dangerous, no? Because student could got mad, maybe.
Yeah, yes. In that moment,
Yeah.
I was fortunate that I had a good relationship with them, no? Because if I didn't, they could have get crazy.
I remember that once I had a classmate that got Ruth because I don't remember what did he said, but the teacher just smiled. He didn't laugh. He just smiled and he correct him. But he gets super angry. I don't know why. Maybe he was angry since the beginning of the class.
Ego.
But what?
Ego.
Ego?
Ego. The psychological part, ego. Super.
Yeah. I think that because he just how do you say, like when you has scared something?
Dropped.
Dropped. He dropped his book and he left the class. Yeah, and the teacher just take the book to the receptionist and tell the principal what happened, and the principal had to call him.
Of course.
And that was the last month I saw him.
Put a little skirt to the lady. Jesus Christ. Some of them are princesses.
Yeah, but I think that, I don't know, you are learning. It's better to make mistakes here than talking to, I don't know, your boss or something, and you say something like borrow instead of erase, and that would be even worse. And I think that classes could be more easier if you could be easier. Yeah, could be easier if you just have fun and not stressed.
Exactly, but
learn
not
from
everyone
your-
has your mindset.
Yeah.
there's a lot of variety in this society.
Yes, that's the problem. That you never know how people will react.
Exactly. So if he wanted to leave, let him be. He just delayed his progress, you know. But
Yeah.
anyway, let's keep it over here, guys. I gotta run. I'm gonna see you tomorrow with a new lesson and study these phrases because they are helpful on your listening.
Okay, now let me take a screenshot.
Sure. I erased some of them because they were not really useful.
Okay, no worries. But
Good morning, good luck.
those are the phrases that we use, not to,
Yeah, exactly.
as we learn.
And probably those are the ones that we use right now and the ones that people usually say in the exam.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, sure.
Awesome. All
Okay,
right,
well,
I'll
thank
see
you.
tomorrow. Have a
Thank
very
you.
good night.
Thank you, teacher. You too.
Bye-bye. See you.
Okay.